Bernard Pagan claims his son-in-law threw him out of his own daughter's celebration of life and says he wants to be repaid for catering the event.
All rise.
Gerald Koch says Mr. Pagan insulted him in front of the guests, so he booted him out.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. This is the case of Pagan versus Koch. Mr. Pagan, you are suing Mr. Koch for $725. You say your son-in-law kicked you out of your daughter's celebration of life service. Wow. And the defendant, you say the plaintiff disrespected you. Mr. Pagan, can you tell the court how is it after such a tragedy you could be in court suing your son-in-law after your daughter's celebration of life? What happened?
My son-in-law asked me to pick up the tab for catering, food and beverage. He was busy cleaning up the house, probably first time he ever did it. I said, fine, I'll do it. For the goodness of my daughter, my love of my daughter. She was a strong fighter. She went down fighting cancer. She was a fighter. And Your Honor, you need to know, this fight was up on top of them prior to her being diagnosed with cancer. She told me a few months before that, they were in the process of getting a divorce.
That was before we found out.
Understand. So she confided in you as her father.
Correct.
Oh.
They're getting a divorce. She's hit with this diagnosis. 5 months later, she's gone. To celebrate her life, we're going to have the celebration of life at their house. And Gerald said, text me a day before, could you cover the catering? I said, sure, $725. I said I picked that up. I've got the text here and the bill. I could show you.
Yes,
everything
please.
I bought.
Thank you so much.
And I was good. We had the day of the celebration. The guests arrived. And oh, by the way, Your Honor, I was the one who planned it, invited the guests, get everything set up, the tables, chairs that we needed for the backyard festivities, our celebration rather, to remember the daughter. And he gives a 2-minute eulogy, just like he wasn't at hospice at all or at the hospital when she was fighting.
What a heavy start. You can feel how deeply Bernard's loss shapes every word he says, and the tension with his son-in-law is already simmering beneath the surface. Judge Lauren Lake immediately senses that this isn't just a financial dispute. It's grief, resentment, and unresolved history colliding all at once.
You're blaming me for...
You felt offended by the length of time that Mr. Koch spoke about your daughter.
I was offended by the length of time and the fact that he just said she was a great woman. He didn't mention love. He didn't mention care. He didn't mention fight.
Do you think that maybe he was just overcome with emotion and just could not speak verbally because of the weight of the loss?
That's certainly possible, but that's been his past behavior. Not there a lot. He's always got some hustle.
Were you
going
holding some level of resentment because you, right, had been told by your daughter in confidence, you know, Dad, I think I'm going to get a divorce? You knew that the marriage was kind of on the rocks before her diagnosis. Were you holding some level of resentment against Mr. Koch?
I wanted him to respect my daughter.
Had you had a conversation with him before?
We've gone back and forth on this. He's always with the bad language and whatnot. It's just...
He uses bad language with you too?
He points it at a lot of people, but he points it at my daughter, and I don't care for it a lot.
Mr. Koch, Mr. Pagan has made some very strong assertions about the ways in which you treated his daughter. And he was not appreciative of the way you eulogized her at her celebration of life. What do you have to say to that?
You know, in Bailey's, honestly, like Bailey was a great wife. And I think that he always was hard on me. No matter what I did, I tried to please him and nothing seemed to work. I tried to be close to Bailey all the time. And that's true. We planned to get divorced, but that was before before we found out that she got diagnosed with cancer. And as soon as we found out, she notified her father about it. I was by her side all the time. I tried to visit her as much as I could at the hospital.
Never saw it.
And what happened is, like, he was always there and he was always fighting with me. He was arguing, like offending me. I just couldn't be there all the time because of him. So I tried to come like later when he would leave, just to, like eat something, grab
So you
some snack.
never felt fully accepted by Mr. Pagan?
Never. Coming up,
And then I said, going through a divorce with this lousy husband. It was meant to be a bit of a joke. It came out.
Was it meant to be a joke? I don't think that was a joke, given your testimony thus far.
Here, the emotional undercurrent becomes impossible to ignore. Both men feel misunderstood, judged, and pushed aside during one of the hardest moments of their lives. Judge Lauren Lake keeps pressing gently but firmly, trying to pull the truth out from beneath years of hurt.
We're back with the case of Bernard Pagan, who is fighting with his son-in-law Gerald Koch over his daughter's celebration of life.
Even though you and your wife had decided to get a divorce, once the diagnosis was given to her, you decided, I'm going to stick by her, I'm going to see this through.
yes, yeah.
How do we get to the point where you are asking her father to leave and he is suing you for the $725 he's presented in costs with receipts?
So I had a lot of stuff on my plate. I just texted him, asked like if he could help me to pick the food and
I
bring
see
it.
the text message exchange. It says, hey, Bernie, quick question. Yes, think you could provide food for Sunday. I have too much other stuff to get ready at the house. Will do. Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate you helping me out here. So this was a very civil exchange, very supportive. How do we get to the point where he's thrown out?
Well, he offended me publicly. He said I'm a lousy husband, like in front of all the people and our friends.
What do you mean? He stood up to make remarks?
Yeah, he was just, like talking about Bailey. And then like at the end, he said like, like her husband was lousy in front of all our friends. And it was really embarrassing. And I felt disrespected.
Did you speak poorly about Mr. Koch while you were there at the service when you had an opportunity to give remarks, Mr. Pagan?
Your Honor, during the eulogy, he let off. He spoke for 2 minutes.
You told me what he said. I need to know
What
what
I
he
said was, I expanded on how great, loving daughter she was, a good person. Bailey was an angel for me. And she left too early. She did. That never came out with him. I shared that.
I loved my wife.
And I said, while I said going through that, I was telling all the guests how much of a fighter she was with her strength to try to fight cancer, which she also ultimately lost. And in that, I said, and that was on top of going through a divorce. He was unhappy with that. And then I said, going through a divorce with this lousy husband. It was meant to be a bit of a joke. It came out.
Was it meant to be a joke? I don't think that was a joke, given your testimony thus far. I know your beautiful daughter, your beautiful wife, would not want her father and her husband fighting at her celebration of life.
This moment shifts everything. Once the lousy husband comment surfaces, the emotional dam breaks. What was meant as a eulogy turns into a confrontation, and you can see Judge Lauren Lake balancing empathy with accountability as she pushes both sides to face the real impact of that moment.
That does not honor her. And even though, Mr. Pagan, you may be disappointed in the way that Mr. Koch, treated your daughter or husband, and you may have that intimate information about them wanting to get divorced, when your daughter confided in you, she was sharing her secrets with you. I can't quite say that at her celebration of life, she would want that announced, especially when, for all intents and purposes, for those last 5 months of her life, she decided to remain married. I'm very sorry for your loss. This court is sitting here still wondering, why are you suing for the $725? Is it because you feel like You paid for it and didn't even get a chance to stay, but then again, you set in motion the circumstances as to why you'd be asked to leave. You set those circumstances in motion. Then this court has to look and say, well, was there even an enforceable contract? Was there a bargain for exchange, a meeting of the mind, an intent for there to be an agreement? I don't see that even in a text message. He just asked you for a favor, for help, and you said yes. And that means you made the choice to spend $725 on food because you wanted to do it big in honor of your daughter. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I also think it's a gift. I think you did something that was honorable and it was a gift. I just wish you would have carried that sentiment through to the remarks and maybe held your peace until you could speak to her husband privately at a different time.
Your Honor, I was sharing the honest truth,
I understand.
and I wanted her to rest in peace with truth.
And if that's what you needed to do, you did it. And then you unfortunately suffered the consequence of that action, which is being left asked to leave. What's done is done. This court cannot change that. I wish I could. Trust me, if I had the power to change that, I wouldn't need to be here every day. Unfortunately, your son-in-law doesn't owe you $725. But I think he does owe you a conversation, and you owe him the same. I wish you all the very best. Judgment for the defendant. The plaintiff's petition is dismissed. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lauren Lake delivers clarity here, legally and emotionally. By calling the catering cost a gift, she shifts the focus away from money and toward the healing both men still desperately need. It's a powerful reminder of how grief can distort decisions, even with the best intentions.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Bailey's in a better place. May she rest in peace. And she's not married to a lousy husband.
Bernie, I think all this thing was the reason because you were too emotional and you wanted to put the anger on me, but I'm not the one to blame for what happened to your daughter.
Coming up.
Now you done got all the way out down to the restaurant. Got about to go in there to get some breakfast, but really you trying to sit in the car and look at the phone some more. And then when he comes pulling up talking about where's my phone, now you scared?
You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Deidre Arnold claims her lover rammed her car after she took his phone. William Gray says Ms. Arnold smashed his phone in a fit of jealousy after he accidentally bumped her car. The defendant is countersuing for $437.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, Your Honor.
This is the case of Arnold versus Gray. Ms. Arnold, you are suing Mr. Gray for $1,000. You say your ex damaged your car and owes you for the repairs. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Gray, you say the plaintiff stole your phone and damaged it, and you're countersuing for $437. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. I'll start with you, plaintiff.
We had just gotten back together, and his phone kept going off all night.
Okay.
And around 6 a.m., I was just like, I have to check it. So I went to the bathroom.
You had to check.
I had to check it. It was going off all night. And we just got back together that night.
So how long were you together before that?
2 years.
All right. Then you broke up, got back together.
Yes.
What did you see in the phone?
Text, photos, and calls nonstop.
So not just all that was coming in incessantly. Did you get any evidence about who that was?
Yeah, some girl named Samantha.
Mr. Gray, while you were on that 3-week break, were you dating other people?
Your Honor, I'm a personal trainer. I meet people all day, every day. I engage. It's not what she thinks. She's constantly have always been accusing me of cheating. She's just paranoid, really.
Okay, so your thing is this is a whole bunch of nothing.
Whole bunch of nothing.
A lot to do about nothing. Well, since you had taken his phone, what did you see in there, Ms. Arnold?
The text messages went back when we started dating 2 years prior.
A completely different kind of emotional storm erupts here. What starts as jealousy turns into a chaotic morning full of tracking apps, accusations, and impulsive choices. Judge Lauren Lake stays grounded as always, trying to separate fear from facts in a very messy relationship.
coming up.
I threw the phone out because I was scared. I've never seen him like this. He was pounding on the windshield, pounding on the window. I thought you were going to break the window.
You're a criminal.
Why are we here for $1,000? What happened to your car?
Okay, so after I got the phone in the bathroom, I heard him get up and I put the phone in my pocket and I was like, I'm going to go get us breakfast. And as I was leaving the parking lot, he was at the front porch. And you followed me. You followed me to our breakfast.
Your Honor, I was tracking my phone. She stole my phone.
I didn't steal your phone.
So you got up, and once she left, you realized your phone wasn't on the nightstand.
I put two and two together. I was able to track my phone, and it was at the restaurant. I go to the restaurant. I see that her car is in the red. It's a very crowded parking lot. I make a right. I think in evidence, I kind of draw a little diagram.
Did you bring that evidence with you?
I do have it here.
I'd like to see it, please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you bring evidence as well, Miss Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Please give it to Deputy.
So the damage of my car.
Thank you so much. You follow her and you go and you get up to where her car is. What happens?
So I make a right, pass her car. I back up so that I can get out to retrieve my phone. I accidentally dinged her car, Your Honor. But on site, I let her know that I was willing to pay $200 for the damage that.
All right, so we don't have to talk about it anymore because you just admitted you dinged the car. What were you doing when he accidentally hit the back of your car?
She stole my phone.
I was in the car.
You were in your car.
Yes.
And that's you
car,
in
and he completely backed up. I'm surprised it wasn't more damage.
So you're in the white car.
Yes. Yes. Your
And
Honor.
then he backs up
Yes.
and dings your car.
Yeah.
So you're suing for $1,000. I'm looking at your evidence here. Why did it cost $1,000 to repair your car?
That was the deductible I have to pay is $1,000.
All right, now let's move on to your phone.
Well, when I got out of my car, I approached her car to nicely ask her for my phone, and she threw the phone out of the window, and it completely shattered on the ground. And so I am asking for $437 to get my phone back.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
I threw the phone out because I was scared. I've never seen him like this. He was pounding on the windshield, pounding on the window. I thought you were going to break the window.
You were a criminal.
Now you scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. I literally
From the nightstand.
Yes.
Went in the bathroom with it, looked in the phone. Now you done got all the way out down to the restaurant. Got about to go in there to get some breakfast, but really you trying to sit in the car and look at the phone some more. And then when he comes pulling up talking about where's my phone, now you scared?
Because he was pounding.
That's not true.
This is a waste of time.
This is not the first time.
This is a waste of time. You know good well, you just came in here and testified that you hit her car. Her deductible's $1,000. You owe that to her. You took the phone, Miss Arnold. You didn't have any business taking the phone. You broke the phone. He owes you $1,000. You owe him $437. Judgment for the plaintiff for $1,000. Judgment for the defendant for $437. I hope y'all don't get back together. Court adjourned.
Share your thoughts on these cases in the comments. For more courtroom breakdowns and real case insights, subscribe to the channel.